Where did that come from?
Mazda!
Rotary ASMR. If you couldn't tell from the intro, today's video is going to be entirely about Mazda. What's Mazda famous for?
Doritos.
It's spinning Dorito engines. We're going to be taking you through the past, present, and future of the entire brand Mazda.
Oh, I thought it was a video about Doritos, the company. Shout out to Joey Smith, 4066 right here. He was the one who actually requested this video. If you guys want a video, just let us know. If not, tell us that you don't want a video and you hate us. Comment something. That's really what I want.
Let's get a good Dorito.
So,
I don't think any Dorito survived. Okay, so during the intro, all of our Doritos broke. So imagine a Dorito right here, and it's spinning. That is how Mazda engines work. For those of you that don't know what a rotary is,
Alright, am I starting?
Wait, bro, I'm sorry.
I hear a rotary.
I'm now an ASMR.
Starting with the past. His ass is just in the frame. Alright, so if you guys didn't know, I'm from Japan. I'm an import. Came off the train. Boat. Mazda was founded in Hiroshima. Quite some events there. This might have been the 30s.
All right. What do you mean?
I mean, not the 30s.
You don't know what year it was founded?
I had it written down, but I threw out the paper.
What?
Toyo Quark Kagyo Corporation was the actual original name before they transferred into Mazda. Yes.
Wow.
They started off with motorbikes, and then they went on to three-wheeled motorbikes, and then they went to their prototype car, which was actually not released because war. So they had a prototype, didn't really pan out due to complications.
Did it blow up?
Everything did. Everything did. So 1940 is when they came out with their prototype that never reached because of war.
Mazda blew up. Mazda exploded.
First Kai car. You guys know what a Kai car is?
K car?
K.
Oh, you're the Asian. What are you talking about?
K cars. What is a K car?
It's a little tiny Japanese car that was
It's
actually designed to fit in between the tiny little Japanese streets.
It's an awfully average sized Japanese car, actually.
So in 1960, that's when they started the first production of the Kai car.
What the f they do for 15 years?
Yes. I know the entire
accidentally
city
threw out-
ceased to exist,
So they made a prototype, and then the war happened.
and then it blew up.
And they're gonna do shit for 15 years?
They probably couldn't do anything for a long time. So they had a prototype in the 40s, and everything blew up, and then it took them 15 years to produce another car.
Dude, radiation.
Oh my god.
Mazda came out with their first car in 1960. They also came into production with their first K car. It was named the R360. That R360 weighed 838 pounds with a whopping 15.8 horses. With all their cars, obviously we all know the Rotary. They started with the Rotary.
I don't know the Rotary. What is the Rotary?
In 1968, Mazda wanted to prove the reliability of these engines. Pretty ironic, right? Because nowadays these things are blowing up. And you know what also has been blowing up?
Back in the day, they were blowing up too.
All right. To prove the reliability of these engines, they actually raced. They raced in it's called the Marathon de la Route. Okay, I'm a fucking
This is French race.
Yeah, this is French.
Marathon de la Route 84-hour race. Anyways, they placed fourth in this race. 84-hour race with the rotary engine, basically proving their reliability. The 12A and the 12B are the rotary engines, and the next car that we're going to talk about is the RX-2. From the RX-2, if you guys didn't know, there's an RX-2 all the way up into an RX-8. Now, starting with the RX-2, it, had that rotary engine. The RX-2 to 4, they made basically every RX later on down the line from this, each generation, they wanted to make improvements from the last gen. RX-3 and 4 came with wagon variants of their base model cars.
Nice.
Then the RX-5 basically was just made for better fuel economy for this, the Japanese. RX-7, that's the bread and butter, that's from Fast and Furious, with the newly improved rotary engine that they have.
And what year was this?
1978. That's the first Savannah, first gen of the RX-7. 1989, that's when the first Miata came out.
Ooh. What does Miata stand for?
Yeah, I know.
Miata is always the answer.
Wow. Well, they're not, so. Also, that same year, they made a facelift for the Savannah RX-7. 1991 is probably biggest and most iconic year for Mazda.
I beg to differ. I think Hiroshima 1945 was a little bit bigger, but
This is the third gen RX-7. The RX-7 was advertised as a pure sports car. This car made 251 horsepower with a 13B engine. The same year, that's why I'm saying it's a big year, the iconic 787B.
Inserting a sound right here.
Yes.
no, don't insert the sound.
Why?
I want to hear you make the sound.
Oh, this is also the first Japanese car to achieve this win.
First Japanese manufacturer to win Le Mans?
Yeah, to win Le Mans, yeah.
I didn't know.
I mean, obviously they have all these other cars, but I feel like these are the most iconic cars. These are really big years, big milestones for Mazda, and I thought they were worth mentioning for the past.
So as we come from the past, I feel like we can all agree Mazda peaked in the 90s.
Well, it definitely didn't peak in the 40s.
No.
Mazda today, most people don't think is that interesting. Currently, there are 7 cars in the lineup. Mazda has 7 cars in the lineup, which is a CX-5, CX-30, a CX-50, and a 50 hybrid, plug-in hybrid, a CX-70, a CX-70 plug-in hybrid, a CX-90, and a 90 plug-in hybrid. They have 2 versions of the Miata. There's 2 versions of the Miata and the Miata RF. There's also a Mazda 3 sedan and a hatch. If you go on any car on the website, other than the Miata, really none of them are performance cars. The Mazda 3, some people consider it. What else is cool is the CX-70 and the CX-90. Not the plug-in hybrid, the hybrid has a 3.3 liter inline 6, turboed inline 6. Again, in an SUV, it's not fast. It's making 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. But that motor is a solid motor. Why don't they put it in anything else? I'm not Mazda. A couple key facts. Mazda has a museum where you can visit in Japan. Not Hiroshima, unfortunately. He mentioned 1989 the Miata came out. They actually have a 35th anniversary edition Miata. They actually have a docu-series coming to Prime Video. Wow. Which is called First to Finish, and it's the 2024 MX-5 Cup Championship season. Performance-wise, this is Mazda's performance. The Miata, they are in a lot of motorsports, like races and stuff like that. Mazda is all over it. If it has 4 wheels and they're racing it, Mazda's probably in it. So they actually have a website dedicated to performance called Mazda Performance. If you like cars, not even just Mazda, go to this website. It's actually really cool. There's a bunch of stuff you can do on there. There's merch, motorsports, performance parts, and just everything and anything in between. Mazda does something that is really, really cool that I haven't seen any manufacturer do. It's sell performance parts. Like I just mentioned. Mm-hmm. You go buy performance parts from Subaru for your car, yes, or Ford for your car, right? Mazda's performance parts avoid your warranty, and they're not legal in any U.S. state. Mazda specifically sells competition and competition-only parts. They will sell you like a full roll cage for a Miata.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's their entire performance portfolio is either buy a $30,000 Miata or buy a $30,000 Miata because you're insane. Mazda Performance website is a really cool website. I think you should all check it out. Honestly, after looking into this, they don't have much going on for them currently. They got 7 cars in the lineup. 3 of them are hybrids. The 3 isn't doing anything cool. The Miata is the Miata. It will always be the Miata, and it will always be the answer. Couldn't find much on Miata today.
Oh, but I have found a lot on Mazda's future. What does Mazda's future look like? Looks like this! Guys, the number one question enthusiasts are going to ask about Mazda's future: will the Rotary come back? Will the spinny Dorito return? While it is a range extender on the MZ30 hybrid, plug-in hybrid EV, Mazda CEO Masahiro Moro, that's good, I did it good that time, revealed a new research and development team at the Tokyo Auto Salon earlier this year. And he said, quote, "On February 1st, we will launch the Rotary Engine Development Group." And again, this was revealed at the Tokyo Auto Salon earlier this year, alongside a stunning new concept that they named the Mazda Iconic SP. The Mazda Iconic SP, here's a picture of it. It kind of looks like a fancy new bubbly RX-7. The RX-7 is synonymous with a rotary engine. It only felt right for Mazda to launch their new Rotary Development Group with a RX-7 looking looking car. Another thing that Mazda announced recently, and there was a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation over the last couple of years. I think I saw a lot of information about this dating back to 2023. So this has been in the works for a couple of years. I think I don't think it's fully launched yet. I don't think a lot of people know about it yet. I barely see stuff about it. Mazda is going to be launching their own performance division, just like Toyota is doing with GR. You guys remember MazdaSpeed?
Yes.
Mazda Spirit Racing's whole goal is to kind of take over where MazdaSpeed left off. Well, now there's going to be MSR blank. Kind of like a GR Corolla, there's going to be an MSR Miata. So there's going to be a lot of performance stuff coming out from Mazda within the next couple years. MSR is going to be launching with an MX-5 Miata, a Mazda 3, and a CX-60. Mazda recently revealed through MSR that they're going to be producing the first ever over 200 horsepower Miata from the factory. So a lot of these companies over the last year or so have been focusing a lot of research and development on the most fuel-efficient, environment-friendly, fuel-saving engines, ICE engines, as possible. So Mazda's answer to that is something they call the Skyactiv-X engine. It's their answer to an EV alternative. They also previously mentioned they have a 3.3 liter turbo inline hybrid. And this thing's awesome, guys. I don't know if you guys, I didn't know about this actually.
I didn't either.
Mazda's producing a turbo hybrid inline six.
I was on their website and I'm like, inline six.
Yes.
Turbo inline. What?
Yes.
And then I clicked into it and I'm like, if this engine was in a literally anything else.
This actually works alongside a 48 volt hybrid system. In, I think, the CX-70, it makes 280 horsepower and 332 foot-pounds of torque, or up to 340 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque with help from the hybrid system. Shane, you smell like an Asian kid. Anyway.
Rice?
That was Mazda. I guess it blew up and took 30 years to fully recover, won Le Mans, and have been making really mid-consumer vehicles ever since. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you made it this far, I want you to comment blueberry muffins in the comments.
You don't have to.